In Python, we learned that a while loop usually contains the following: a counter variable initialized with some value, an expression that changes that value, and a condition that allows the loop to terminate at some point. Similarly, a for loop in Java also contains these things. We begin with the for keyword, followed by a parentheses, which is where we will place those three components of a loop. Let's start by declaring our counter variable. Int I is equal to 0, followed by a semicolon. And then we add the terminating condition. Say, for example, I is less than 5, followed by another semicolon. Lastly, we add the expression that updates the counter, I++, which is a shorter way of saying I plus equals 1. It will work in Java, but not in Python. So as you can see, a for loop in Java is just like a while loop, except you have all these three components in one location separated by semicolons. And then to add the body of the for loop, we place our curly braces. All the statements that we place within these braces will make up the set of instructions that the loop will perform for every iteration. Let's just put in system.out.println, and then let's go ahead and print I. So here our expected output will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, each in its own line. You're free to change the values up here. We can start at 4. We can run the loop as long as I is greater than 0, and then decrease I by 2, for example. So the first time the for loop runs, I starts at 4, and then 4 is greater than 0. So we enter the loop and we print out the current value of I, which is 4. Then we subtract 2 from 4, which gives us 2. And then it's still greater than 0. So once again, we print the value of I, which is now 2. Then we subtract it by 2, giving us 0. At this point, the condition is no longer true because I is no longer greater than 0. So the for loop terminates. So let's run this, and we do in fact get 4 and 2. One difference between a while loop and a for loop is that the counter variable is local to the for loop. This means that if we try to access it outside of the loop, we will get an error. So for example, if I try to print out I outside of the for loop, it isn't going to work. As you can see here, we do have an error. So if I test this out, we do in fact get an error. So this is because we are trying to access I, which only exists within the scope of the for loop. And that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching.